Hello and welcome to another episode of Invalid Entry. My name is James Taylor. Today we are opening up the 7th day. I'm just going to move this up here because the 7th day is here. It's a little star. It's behind my head again. We should be good until the 15th now. Put that back. Right. Basically what we're going to do today is we're going to be adding the Star of Bethlehem to our nativity scene. Which is still the camels racing across the desert. I realised yesterday I didn't show the Advent calendar, so we're still adding things to the Advent calendar as we go through. So let's just get rid of that. What I've done is I've just flipped back to the non-moon night sky. So if I run this code very quickly, we should get a nice little nativity scene running. Camels running through the desert, this is where we are. And the Star of Bethlehem, I want to be over here because, of course, they're running towards the star. And it's going to be static in the sky, so I want it to hang up here. Again, this is going to be very repetitive of some of the previous ones, but basically I now have a sprite sheet for the star because I want a bit of so most of the stars will be twinkling, but this one's going to be a bit big, a bit more impressive. So I've got this little sprite sheet here of the star. It has got 4x4 elements that are 64x64 and big. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy the King's JSON. I'm going to rename this star JSON and star.png, and then basically it's going to be star, and it's just going. I'm just going to call them 0 to whatever, so I can get rid of all of these. And I said there were 64x64 array, so they're all going to be 64x64. So the first one's going to be at 0, 0, and then the next one, amazingly, will be, I'm going to get rid of King 2, I don't really care, King 2, King 3. Just make my JSON correct. And then there are going to be 4 on the top row. 4 on the top row, and then there's 4 more rows of that. So I can just select that and go second row, third row, fourth row. Okay, and JSON's a bit annoying that you can't put comments in. I have considered using other things. That's why XML is actually a little bit nicer sometimes, or YAML. There are problems with those using those. So these are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a little 8. 9, 10, 11, and 12. 13, 14, 15. That sounds like a wrong number. Have I got messed up somewhere? No. Oh, excellent. Zero indexed. That's why. So as we go across, the first one's going to be 0, 0. The next one's going to be 64, 64. Because they are 0 index pixels. The first pixel is 0, 0. So we go 64, 64. The next one then is going to be 128. No, it's not. Not 64, 64. Next one's going to be 128 naught, and the one after that is going to be 192, which I just want to check because I haven't had my coffee this morning. I also fell off my step, which is very, very icy. So it's 192. Now the next row will always be 64, so we can basically take that 64 there, and we can just put that in the next row already. I should have copied and pasted now. And then the next one of that will be 128 down. So I can put those in. You could write a thing which generated this data programmatically. But the nice thing about this is it's sort of, because you have to change the artwork. If you change the artwork, you have to change your code. Whereas this sort of defines the art. So if I made the picture wider and put things down the side, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I could just add the extra element I've added in. And this was 192. And that should take us all the way up to the size of the picture at that point. 192, 192. So these ones here are going to be 0, 64, 128, 192. These ones are going to be here 0, 64, 128, 192. Now what you can do with JSON is, depending on your JSON schema, sometimes you can add extra elements to here, like give it a name or give it a human readable name, so you have a bit, but your namespace should tell you what it is. 64, 128, and then 192. There we go. So they're all loaded in now. So now we've got this start.json. I'm also going to very quickly copy my camel class and go rename this. It's going to be called star, just star. It's going to be in there. It's a star. And the position, I'm going to keep the positioning. Spritedex is going to be spritedex. I'm not going to keep any of that stuff, and it doesn't need any of these things. So, because I'm only going to have one star, I don't need to worry about having multiple ones with different animation offsets. Keeps it nice and simple. I am going to have position equals naught, equals none, and then I'm going to make that equals naught there. Look around these things, and then because we have got it loaded in here just to keep it safe, so it's got a bit of weird namespace in there, but we can deal with that. At this point, we don't look at the king. We're going to go for star, and it is literally just the offset. I don't have to make that string or organize it because it's an int. Just to be safe, I'm going to turn it into a string. You could do str around it, but I like percentages. Something about me is I love my percentages, my percentage formatting. That should be my star class done. We're at 6 minutes already, which is going really well. Oh, don't really put S there. Hit save. Save that. Now we're going to nip back to the run me. And this actually is why games begin to need loading time, because what we're actually going to do now is we're actually going to import from elements.star import star. And then down here in the objects, I just need to decide which layer I'm going to put it on. Probably in front of the sky, but behind the decor. Objects.append star. Takes the sprite dex, and the coordinates of this, I think it's going to be quite far over. So at my height here, I've got my height and width. So I'm going to do width minus 200, and I'm going to put it at like 20. So, or 30. My fingers type differently to what my mind says, so I'm going with what my fingers say because they probably know better than my mouth. And that should be it. Now we have to do is give it a quick run and see how many errors we've got. None at all. That's the animation there. Now, actually, that animation is not quite right. And actually, I think what I have to do is actually continue the animation. I'm just going to read the text file because the animation I bought there. For a quick look. Talk amongst yourselves. I think the idea is we actually layer the animation on top of itself. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment and I'm just going to have a play around with trying different combinations of this animation and maybe seeing it. I think the idea is you render it and then render it again reversed at 90 degrees. Because looking at that, I think what happened is now I render it again backwards in itself. So, ha 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 ha. That is a joke. That is a laugh of someone who realizes their very foolish mistake. In here, the animation process I copied from King's. Of course, there's only 5 steps. This one has 15. So if it's greater than 15, the number's greater than 15, we want to loop back to 0, and that is why it came back and it was only opening up. So if I do it now, you get a nice little animation there of the star opening and closing. That is maybe a bit fast, and this is where the animation speeds want to tie in. So what we can actually do here is to slow that down a little bit to make it run at maybe half speed. We can basically go progress equals false equals none, and then here we can say self dot progress equals false. Here we basically say is if self dot progress, we actually add one on. Self dot progress equals false. Else self dot progress equals true. So now basically that's going to run at half the speed, and we should get a bit of slower animation going on. There you go, that's slow animation. And again, it's going to be against a darker background because we're going to start bringing in layers of nighttime. We're going to do twinkling stars, and it's going to look pretty impressive. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. Have a great Advent. If you like this, please leave a comment down below. And yeah, let me know. Let me know if this inspires you to do anything, and let me know how it turns out.